Hey, good morning, everyone. Actually, it's more like evening. It's actually 2:17 right now. I just came out. This is my roommate. What's your name again?
Marino.
Marino.
Hi, guys.
He's my roommate. We're the only two people here. Yeah, that's Marino. We're the only two people in the hostel. Um, anyway, it's May 29th, so that puts us on day 30. Yeah, May 29th puts us on day 30 for me here in Cheap Bicycle through Thailand. We're just heading over to the market here to actually get something to eat. And yeah, so I'm just starting my day, believe it or not, because I stayed up till pretty late last night doing the editing and the uploading. So, hello.
Howdy, Cap.
So I'm one day ahead of you. Insects. Larva.
That's actually really good.
I don't think I could do it though. Crickets and everything.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, you do this.
I do this. I like it. Not
Cool.
my favorite, but not a problem with it.
Yeah. So you actually eat those?
You want?
No, I don't. Go ahead, help yourself.
Howdy, Cap.
I want to see. Correction, I'm 40 days here in Thailand. I don't know. I'm still waking up, guys. So I said 30.
Sorry, can I have only 5 baht? Little bit, maybe only.
Three more. 10 baht.
I'll buy
3
10 baht. Here.
Can you give me one for 5 baht?
Here.
I don't want a 3. I want only one.
Yeah.
I like 3 of them. Only one for your video.
No, I don't want one. I'll see you eat one.
เค็มๆหน่อยเอาตัวใหญ่ๆให้หน่อยเลือกตัวสวยๆว่าจะถ่ายรูป
It's a fat one.
That's crazy.
Some lime. Hi guys, look at that. So
You're
take
braver
me,
than I am, brother.
You give me a kiss.
อร่อย
Thank you.
Bye bye.
So you suggest the sticky rice?
Yeah, sticky rice and then we put some meat here and
Okay.
eat together.
I think I'm gonna go for a big sticky rice. Yeah. Yeah. Just, yeah, one for me.
It's same you said, right?
Why?
It's the same.
Yeah, same.
The other day I took one that was purple.
Why?
Purple. Color.
How?
No, no, no.
Why?
Chart like burnt?
อันนี้แบกอันนี้ไว้
Yeah, no. This, this is also 10 baht. 10 baht. Chicken.
Oh, it's chicken. All right.
เท่าไหร่10 baht. 10 baht.
Good. They got chicken. I got chicken on a stick and with hot peppers, cabbage. These were only like 10 baht each. The cabbage and everything was free. And then I got the big sticky rice right there. I always kind of wonder what these were in this. Like I actually seen them making it on the side of the road, and I actually never knew what was actually in it. So now I know. Sticky rice. Alright.
You should show them the presentation when you open it. It's so cool.
Okay, actually here, you can let's do this real quick. Hang on guys. See if my camera works. So, how do you open these?
Yes. So there is the edge.
Okay.
Is there.
Okay. That one.
And we start cracking from here.
Ah. What's this made out of? Is it just a plug?
Yeah, it's just it's I don't know the material. It's the same as the wine.
Like a cork.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
Oh, it's made out of probably coconut husk. or something. Yeah, no, I seen them alongside the road. I just never stopped to figure out what they were. So now I know they're sticky rice.
It's so cool.
Yeah. Oh wow, that is really sticky rice. Mine's black.
Oh, that's delicious.
That was the one you were asking about?
Yes, exactly. I had that the first day, was very tasty.
It's the jasmine one, right?
Yeah.
The jasmine.
This one is white with some beans inside, black beans.
So mine's like a darker color tint to it. All right, brother. Thank you for showing me how to open these.
Cheers.
Cheers. All right, guys. That's it. He showed me. Now I know how. Now I'm not a complete fool when it comes to the eating here in Thailand. All right. Anyway, wait, guys. I know you always ask me to interview more of the people that actually I'm running across and stuff, and he has actually been traveling for. You said how long?
8 years.
8 years.
I started in 2017, and let's say from 2018, full-time traveling.
Sorry, I was looking if I had my mic in my bag. I don't. So, where was like the first country, and what actually made you decide to start traveling? And how do you actually financially support yourself while you're doing this?
I always wanted to travel, to be honest. I always been fascinated from the hippie lifestyle, you know. And when I was kid, when I was teenager, I always thought that I had this sensation of being born in the wrong timing, you know. And I always felt that I don't belong to this era. So, as soon as I had the chance to leave my country, I did it. I started going abroad to work. So,
did you mention your country? Your country is?
I came from Italy.
Italy.
Yeah,
Okay,
yes.
there you go.
So my first destination was Denmark, just because of the economy. So I went there looking for a job and thinking I can save something, and then finally traveling. And I was doing that in the first years until in 2019 I had the biggest adventure of my life. I went in South America, planning in the start to stay there for about 6 months. I didn't have much money. I had a really low budget. I was honestly with $1,400 planning to stay 6 months, and I ended up staying there for 2 years and a half. Yeah, the COVID started in 2019. Me, as everybody else, we had the chance to leave the countries and come back to our countries, but let's say because of a sensation of rebellion, because I don't like when somebody tell me what to do,
Yeah.
I choose to stay there just because of my freedom.
Yeah.
And that was a huge experience. Like nobody
So
expected.
was it better, like the mandates and stuff on COVID there? Like
Not really. It was wild. It was wild. I mean, Italy was one of the heavier striked countries.
Yeah.
It was maybe the second after China.
Yeah.
So it was pretty tough. But in many places in South America, it was almost lawless.
Oh, really? Okay.
When
So
I was when I passed in Peru. In Peru during the COVID, they had lockdown at 5 o'clock, and they made few special laws. One of them was that the army and the cops, they had the right to shoot the people in the street if they think it was necessary or if they had the reason to do it. So they could legally shoot you if you just run away when they tell you to stop, for example. It was pretty tough.
So what did you do? Like, if you were traveling, were you like during the lockdown mandates and stuff, even in South America? Were you in a hospital at the time, or were you camping?
No, actually, when the COVID started, I was with my partner in Ecuador, and everybody was thinking that things should stay for a couple of months, 3 months maximum. Nobody expected for the COVID stay more than 2 years, you know.
Yeah.
So after a couple of months staying in a home, doing a kind of normal standard life, so had to shopping, had to buy food and things. I ended up finishing all my savings in a couple of months. So yeah, the COVID started in December, January. I remember in April, I was in Ecuador in the middle of COVID without nothing at all. I met a friend of mine, a traveler friend. He was in Ecuador too, and we bought shoes together without nothing to sneak inside Peru. So in 2020, in May, we crossed the border illegally from Ecuador to Peru, and we stayed in Peru for about 1 year and a half clandestine. Yeah.
Wow. So 8 years is a very long time to go just be traveling. How actually have you found to make ends meet while you're traveling?
Yeah. As I was saying, in the start, I was saving in Europe, in my continent, because it's convenient for the economy, of course. I was saving and then traveling. But in South America, I learned how to sustain myself during the trip. I'm an artist. I make music. I learned in South America how to handcraft, to make jewelries, bracelets, using metals, using wires and natural stones, and I learned how to do that, and I learned how to work out of that in the streets. Sometimes I made music in restaurants, in celebrations, birthdays. So Latin America really taught me how to survive everywhere. Yeah.
About how much did you make? Like when you think about jewelry, making jewelry and stuff.
Yeah.
How well did you actually? Was it like hand them out, like barely making up for food, or?
You wanna know the full story? This is not easy. It's a process. It's a process. When I really start learning how to handcraft, I was in Tenerife in Spain, and an Italian guy introduced me to the handcrafting. Back then, I still have some savings, and I was using the handcrafting to make some extras.
Handcrafting what? Because that's usually a big field.
Jewelry. Jewelry. Necklaces with stones, silver wires, or macrame wires, these kind of things. So in the start, the only way I knew to sell that, it was putting a towel in the street, a table, and waiting for customers to reach me out. And sometimes, especially when I need it, when I started doing that in South America, I was without nothing. So all my life was sustained on this. And for months, I never did enough for taking a room, and many days I was not doing enough for buying food. So when I start doing that without nothing at all in Latin America, let's say I spent about 3 months begging for food, asking for food around. In the best occasion, I was living in the street, camping under the bridges, camping on the beach, on the sand. And in the best occasion, in the best days, I was at least able to choose my meal. Until I finally found out, I met a guy from Colombia. He was a traveler back then. He was traveling already since 7 years in Latin America, and he was selling in the street jewelry as me, only bracelets. And this actually is a memory of him. These bracelets is a gift from that guy. He was doing only these simple bracelets, different colors, producing 20, 30 of each every day, and selling about 10, 20 every day. So he was making enough money to rent his room, to buy his meals every day out of it, only out of it. And I was making different kind of jobs, not only bracelets. I had some necklaces, some nice cool stuff. And when I met this guy, we stick together, we start traveling together. And when I told him that I was in a tough situation, I was sleeping in the street not because I wanted, I was sleeping in the street because I didn't have any other options. He was like, he told me that's crazy, man. Your works are way much better than mine. I make very simple, basic stuff, and I never miss money for my day. Yeah, there's something wrong with your method. And I'm like, I don't know, man. It is what it is. Just I'm in that situation. And it's like, you know, brother. You shouldn't wait for people to come to look for you. You shouldn't wait for people with your stuff on the street and wait for customers. You should lift your stuff, create some exposure, some things, and go yourself to find people. Go yourself to look for customers.
Yeah.
So I told him, man, I don't know how to do that. I feel it's not my language. I feel ashamed to just stop the people in the street. And this guy gave me one of the biggest lessons in my life. In that moment, he looked in my eyes and he's like, brother, with the shame, you're never going to eat enough. And this phrase, it clicked something in my head. So the first day I chose to follow him, he went to the main square selling stuff to the families, the people just walking around the main square. I remember that was in the middle of the COVID, zero touring. It was only local vibes and everybody were terrorized. It was very tough in South America. So I stayed a couple of hours behind my friend, just listening to him, hiding with listening how he was communicating with people. And after 2 hours I take my brave, I take just partially like part of my stuff, just a bracelet, just few stuff. I made a little exposure, and I went in the main square talking with people and trying to offering to people. And
What do you mean by exposure? Like
yeah, it's like say for example a bamboo stick which is round and put all bracelets on the bamboo. I had many other jobs. The presentation. But that day was my first day doing that way, so I didn't have time to build up some proper stuff. And I went only with the bracelets, no necklaces, no stones, no much material, only with the basics, cheap stuff. So I started by myself, and the first, it was incredible, man. The first half an hour in the main square, I sold $10. In half an hour, I was doing sometimes $10 in 16 hours, from morning till night, waiting for people, you know. I remember that it was already evening, so I already had lunch, I already ate my day. It was evening, and with the $10 that in Peru it's 40 soles, I was able to pay one room in the hostel, pay my dinner, and buy that cajon, a percussion like djembe, musical instrument, with half an hour of my work.
Wow.
The sensation in that moment, it was
so good, like
priceless. You know, the freedom itself. I was like, oh my God, I worked half an hour today and I bought a musical instrument and I have money for my room and for my meal. And man, since then, that was in 2020, thanks to that guy, that Colombian guy, I never more problem with the money. I never needed to ask for food or I never needed money anymore. That man completely revolutionized my life and teach me how to really survive from my art.
yeah.
Because making art is not all of it. It's not all of the job. Sadly, the 50% of the job of an artist is to sell his art. There are plenty of very good artists around the world. They don't know how to sell themselves,
Right.
and that's very sad because sadly, you need to learn that.
Do you still have that little like inner like shyness to you, like where it's hard for you to actually?
Yes. Absolutely, yes.
So it's just something you have to fight against and just make sure, you know. I mean, something that.
Yes, all the education, the education we receive since we are born. They in some way, sometimes actively, sometimes in a passive way.
Yeah.
The family, the school, everybody teach you that it's miserable to work with your art. It's miserable to work in the street, which is not, man. Which is not. I know plenty of musicians, for example, crazy, talented and skilled musicians, and that people works in the street with music. That means that they made them shows 2 hours every day to hundreds of people every single day, and that's their life. Every single day of the years they have to earn their money, and they made their show to hundreds of people in 20 and more restaurants every single day, and potentially many artists in the streets played for more people than some famous artists. You can make 2 concerts in a year for 10,000 people, but that people plays for hundreds of people every single day.
You don't think about that.
You don't think about that, but that's the truth.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
So what are your plans? Like right now, where are you heading? What's your travel plans?
Right now, for the first time since many years, I got some plans because I have a partner. We are planning now in a few months to try to build up a guest house. She got a land in Japan, so we want to try to build up a guest house and invite travelers and guest volunteering to share knowledge, to learn more from other people, to teach more, to have the chance, give the chance to travelers to see also something more in Japan, which is not only the big cities. She lives in the countryside, so that's the plan for now. But normally, like the last 7-8 years of my life, zero plans. Just follow the stream, the flow, you know, sometimes when you got some plans, you close yourself in this expectation, because at least when you got some when you have a plan, you create an expectation around it. And sometimes the expectation, you know, makes you blind. Life is always full of opportunities, full of people that could click your life, could give you knowledge, could give you new sharing and learning, you know. And if you are focused on only on one way, a lot of times you lose. You don't see many things happening around you, and I'm sure that it's like that for everybody. And constantly we receive opportunities from many directions. Sometimes you're like, no, but I already have a job, I don't want to risk in another business. Sometimes you're like, but I know I always go in the same place, I don't want to change a restaurant or city or whatever, you know. We get used to something, we get used to our plans.
Always going to 7-Eleven.
And you ended up in the marketplace.
I'm religiously going to 7-Elevens just for the one reason, is because I'm used to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's a little comfort in being used to something, but we're creatures of habit, and there's a big benefit to not planning anything out. Like everybody knows that watches me, I don't plan anything out. That morning I'll figure out, okay, I'm going in this direction. So my whole plan is either north, east, south, or west. But like you said, there's no. You can get too focused if we have plan. Like, you know, I got to go here and be here by this time because that's the hospital I got to check into.
Yes,
and I got
absolutely. And you know what? It's commonly says that the travel is the best part, is the most important, rather than the destination.
Yeah.
And in the end, the plan is a destination.
Yeah.
And if you focus completely on the plan, on the destination, you miss the road, you miss the route.
Yeah, you miss what's going on around you. Yeah. No, the beauty is when that you don't have a plan. You know, it's like that you have a direction you're going, but if you want to stay somewhere that you see in between, you know, somewhere beautiful or something, you know, you just stop. You know. I'm a big advocate for not pre-planning too much of anything. Just kind of go whatever way the wind blows. But I think that comes with time, though. You know, because eventually, when you first start traveling, you're traveling as a traveler. But then eventually, that traveler becomes who you are, and you're no longer a traveler. You're just you're a nomad. You're a vagabond. You know, that's part of your.
There's a difference between when you're doing something and when you become something.
Mm-hmm.
When you start traveling, of course, you do it actively. Okay, I go there because I want to go there. I'm planning to go in this place the next year, and you plan and you follow your plans. But when it became your daily life, when you became a traveler, that's not planning. You're not here because it's here. You're here because that's, I don't know how to explain that, man. Thailand, we are now in Thailand, or Laos, or Africa, or Morocco. It's the same for me. I mean, we moved around the world as 10 years ago I was moved in my neighborhood, you know?
Yeah.
The world is one country for me, and that's the normality of my life, to move in a place that I still don't know, to learn something new and keep going.
I think that's what it is. A lot of times we all get stuck in the country that we grew up in. We don't realize the world is a giant country, and there's no difference when traveling around inside, like with me, the United States. And once I came out to living abroad, it's like, oh, I can do the exact same thing I was doing in the United States, being homeless traveler, and just do that in the whole world. And now the whole world becomes my country. So.
That's the best sensation.
You know,
yeah.
it is. It's your freedom that comes involved. Hey, brother. I'll go ahead and I'm going to say you're probably one of the most interesting interviews on camera. For me, at least, because we bond in a way that we both are kind of like the vagabond homeless traveler, but you're an artist and stuff, and I love, you know, meeting people like you along the way. So anyway, guys, these are the people that you meet along the way.
Cheers, guys.
All right, peace out, guys. I'm gonna see what this is right across the way here. This right over here. I'm gonna just boost. Do you know what it is? I saw it when I was pulling up yesterday. I saw the big police ship out there and stuff like that. So.
Wait in the room.
Huh? All right, brother. Anyway, guys, I'm just coming across the bridge here. My room's right on the other side. I saw this when I was pulling up yesterday. Wasn't sure what it was, so it just looks like a big boat. It's a Memorial Museum. That's what it is. Well, there's not much going on today. I got to still go back and do some editing on yesterday's video. I just downloaded everything over this morning, so I still got that to do. And yeah, there's not going to be much except for maybe me getting something to eat with the roommate of mine, and yeah, and his interesting story, which was, yeah, it was a nice, interesting story. But wait. Playing the guitar.
Much more. Live alone in a paradise that makes me think of you. Love lost such a cost, and give me things that don't get lost, like a coin that won't get tossed, going home to you. Oh man, take a look at my life, I'm a lot like you. I need someone to love me the whole day through. I want to look in my eyes and you can tell that's true. Lullabies look in your eyes and run around the same old town. It doesn't mean that much to me, to mean that much to you. I've been first and last, and look at how the time goes fast. But I'm all alone at last, I'm going home to you. Old man, take a look at my life, I'm a lot like you. I need someone to love me the whole day through. I want to look in my eyes and you can tell that's true. Old man, look at my life,
So something I've been needing to do here pretty soon is I need to do a full clean out of all my gear. I know I just went over like the gear that I'm still carrying around and stuff, but I think I'm starting to collect a lot of junk. And the only one of the reasons why is Marino, my roommate here, he only carries around that much right there. He's saying he carries 3 kilos, so you're talking about 6 pounds of gear. And he only really carries the his I think he said 3 sets of clothing, but really lightweight, like t-shirt type things and some shorts, and his jewelry making kit. That's how he makes money, making jewelry and stuff like this. Very interesting guy, actually. But he's been traveling for a long time. He did say he used to carry a little bit more weight, but you know, to be carrying only 3 kilos kind of kicks me in the ass. It's like, why am I carrying around so much? So I know, like, I got the water filter and stuff like this, but really, how much do I really need? So I'm going to re-examine my pack, and I'm going to get back down, even though I don't have to be at the 7 kilo. I'm going to try and get back down to where I'm only carrying a max of 7 kilo. And that's going to be hard with my Hennessy hammock. Yeah, I'm carrying right there is 2.5 kilo plus another. So just double it. If you want to know pounds, it's just double. So kilos are easy to know. Yeah, so I really noticed getting the buildup of stuff, and I'm not sure what I actually really need. So there's a few things that make my night comfortable, like this. I found out last night sleeping on those concrete benches were very handy, but this backpack's full of garbage. Like, I carry this water filter because I threw away the syringe that's a backwasher for my Sawyer, and this actually has what's people use the smart water canisters because of this part right here. I can actually use this nozzle to backflush my Sawyer. But anyway, I'm getting to the point where I'm feeling that I got too much gear, and it's the feeling of being cluttered with stuff that I just don't need. It's like there's an old saying is when it comes to the cleaning kits, your deodorants and all this, is embrace the stink, you know, and that means don't carry one. You know, some of the hikers will just like, don't carry one, you know, embrace the stank, you know. And I think I'm getting to that point where I just want to get down to like one set of clothing, like what I started with, one dirty, one clean, and try and get rid of all the over garbage, and I can replace it later. Just keep toothbrush, toothpaste, that's it. You know, it's like, well, maybe my fingernail file or clippers, but then you start, and this, and that, and this. You know, like, oh, cologne for when I'm stinking? Nah. So anyway, I'm feeling that I'm getting too much stuff, so eventually here, I'm going to have to do a cutback of my gear. So I'm going to go out and get something to eat, guys. Hey guys, I decided I went out to the night market that I was at yesterday, and it's not going on. Plus the food there is between 100 and 160 baht. And I figured I'd just save some money and come to 7-Eleven and get something to eat. It's 8:43 right now, and I just uploaded, or I just finished editing yesterday's video. So right now it's at 87%. Saving the progress, right? Not uploading. I have to do that next. If I start messing with my phone on anything else, it's sucking up all my processing power right now. If I start messing around with Google Maps and stuff like that, it might shut down like it did that one time when I lost the project I was working on. So I had to start all over again. That was very frustrating. So eventually I'm going to have to get a phone with a better processor in it. And I've been thinking about it. I think the iPhone 16 might be the best. And go for the 16 and not the 16E because the difference is only a few $100. But I don't know. I'm gonna wait until I'm gonna wait a little before the next country I go to is probably the one I'll purchase a phone in. But anyway, the day's over. It is 8:44, and that's annoying. Sorry guys, that's just annoying. That's advertisements, obviously. They drive around. I actually was on a bicycle once, and the guy was like matching my speed right behind me, and just blasting some. I think it was a political advertisements or something. Someone probably running for something, and it's just crazy how loud those things can be blasted out the back. But you know, everybody's got to earn a living somehow, and that's get paid for doing it. Do it. Anyway, I got some soup. I got some vegetable soup here, 40 baht. So that's $1.20. My chicken and rice and all that. And another, this was 15. It was funny, there was no rice available. And just like boiled rice, I don't know, that's like a porridge almost. And lady's like, no, you can use this. You know, some gal showed me these bags are also microwavable, so, and it's the same price. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna call it quits. This is gonna be where I say goodnight, y'all. Tomorrow I plan on continuing my journey. I'm not gonna really worry about reducing my weight that I'm carrying right now, but I'm definitely gonna start thinking about where I can cut corners. Like I said, I don't have the perfect balance of what I really want for comfortable nights and also traveling, but I'll figure it out. That's one thing about gear, is it's always ever changing. And I remember watching David Canterbury was one of the perfect examples. His gear was always in rotation of something new, and like he liked mule tape. Mule tape is that flattened tape. Because it has a very strong tensile strength, like 2,700 pounds or something like that, and it wraps up flat. I've never liked mule tape because they're just hard to tie knots with. There's flat knots and stuff like that you can actually tie, but I just never cared for it. But that's just a sidetrack. So tomorrow I plan on starting to go towards Phuket. Like I said, I don't know how many miles it is because I can't do it because this is taking up processor. But I'll check all that for tomorrow morning, and I'll try to have all the information handy, and we're just gonna hit the road again and see what comes up, see what's around the corner. All right, guys, peace out. You have a good night tonight.